going to get started. We know how we start on one, two, three.
I'm ready.
All right, guys, I'm
Ready.
ready too. Today, we're going to speak about the skill that Tony Robbins says is the number one skill for success. And that skill is adaptability. Because if one thing we know for certain, it is things are going to change. Markets, industries, technology, relationships, opportunities, and sometimes the path that you thought that would be there completely disappears. Now, the people who struggle the most are not the least capable. They're the least adaptable. They become attached to how things were, how things used to be, how they thought in their mind it was all going to play out. And while they're looking backwards, the change is moving forward. In the words of Albert Einstein, the measure of intelligence is in the ability to change. Think about that. The strongest tree in the forest is not always the one that survives the storm. The tree that survives is the one that bends, the one that adjusts, the one that adapts. Well, it's the same in life. Some of the most successful people in the world, they didn't succeed because they had the perfect plan. They succeeded because they adjusted if the plan didn't work. They pivoted, they learned, they evolved, they adapted. Think about how many times you had to adapt in your own life. Maybe a relationship ended. Maybe a business opportunity disappeared. Maybe there was a dream that took a little longer than you thought. Maybe the road you were traveling suddenly became a dead end. And yet, here you are, still standing, still growing, still moving forward, because somewhere along the way, you adapted. What if instead of fearing that change, we welcomed it? What if instead of resisting uncertainty, we became curious about it? What about instead of saying, why is this happening? We asked, what am I learning at this moment? Because every single change carries a lesson. Every single one of them contains some type of wisdom and an opportunity for us to grow. Now, the people who thrive aren't the people that avoid those changes. They're the people who learn how to navigate it. Now, I want to share something important. Adaptability is not about abandoning your mission. It's about changing your approach while staying committed to that destination. The goal stays the same. Now we're going to do another one, two, three. And this time I want us to say, I am adaptable. On three, one, two, three. I
I'm
I am
adaptable.
am
adaptable.
adaptable. That is correct, guys. Think about your GPS. When you miss a turn, the GPS doesn't shut down and panic. It doesn't quit. It doesn't tell you, well, you better go home. It simply says, recalculating. How many of us need to do more recalculating and less focusing on why did this happen or who's to blame for it? The truth is that adaptability creates opportunity. While some people are stuck asking why things changed, adaptable people are saying, what's possible now? While some people are focused on what they lost, adaptable people are focused on what they're building. While some people are fighting that reality, adaptable people are leveraging it. And here's the beautiful thing. That adaptability creates confidence because once you realize that you can adjust, you can pivot, you can overcome those challenges, you stop fearing the change and you start trusting yourself. You begin to understand that no matter what happens, you'll always find a way forward. Today's lesson is simple. You don't have to have all the answers. You just have to be willing to adapt. The future belongs to the people who are willing to learn, evolve, grow, try something different, willing to embrace change instead of fear it. So today, let's ask ourselves, where are we resisting that change? What opportunity might be hidden inside of this change? What obstacle is actually preparing me for something bigger? And most importantly, what would happen if I choose to adapt instead of resist? One of the greatest examples of adaptability is within our own mortgage industry. Think about everything we've experienced in the last few years. We went from record low interest rate and refi booms to one of the most challenging purchase markets many of us have ever seen in our career. Many people built those businesses around those refinances, and overnight, the market changed. The professionals who survived and thrived weren't necessarily the smartest or the most experienced. They were the most adaptable. They've shifted from refis to purchases. They learned new programs. They built relationships with realtors. They embraced non-QM and DPA and renovation. They educated themselves where they never once even thought of doing it before. Why? Because they adapted. Think about our technology. Years ago, many of us resisted CRMs and social media and AI and video marketing and automation. Today, some of the most successful professionals in our industry are leveraging all of those tools. And I tell you, on a daily basis, I say to myself, I cannot even believe I'm having this conversation. The industry has changed. The market's changed. The tools have changed. And the people who embrace this change has positioned themselves for growth. Now, also remember, our customers have changed. The first-time homebuyer of today is different than the first-time homebuyer of just 10 years ago. The way people consume information has changed. The way they communicate, the way they shop for homes, the way they choose a lender has changed. And if we continue serving today's clients with yesterday's strategies, we become irrelevant. The lesson is simple. Adaptability isn't about abandoning what made you successful. It's about building on top of it. The fundamentals still matter. The relationships still matter. Integrity, communication, service. But the way we deliver those things, they have to keep evolving, because every time the market changes, there's two groups of people. The first group that says, I wish we could go back to the way it was. And the second group that says, how do I win in the market that exists today? The second group will always win, because opportunities never disappear. They just change shape. And those willing to adapt are always the first to find it, because your greatest breakthrough may be waiting on the other side of your willingness to change. Remember, water is the most powerful force on earth, not because it's rigid, it's because it adapts. It flows around obstacles. It finds another path. It keeps moving forward. Ladies and gentlemen, be like water. Stay committed to your mission. Stay focused on your goals, but be flexible enough to adjust that path, because life rewards those who can adapt. Wishing you all a remarkable day filled with growth, opportunity, and forward motion. Now go out there and embrace the power of adaptability. Have a great day, guys. See you tomorrow.